Hello and welcome to this daily hypnosis session to stop catastrophizing. Always ensure you're in a safe and comfortable environment before engaging with this hypnosis session. Please avoid listening or driving or operating heavy machinery. And remember, it's okay to stop the session if you feel uncomfortable. And now, on to the hypnosis. You know, as we begin this journey today, there's a particular story of the meandering river that I often think about. And you might already know, rivers have this unique way of always finding their path. And just like the river around minds can sometimes take unexpected turns. And as you sit there, starting to notice the weight of your eyelids, or perhaps the rhythm of your breath, I wonder if you can imagine the gentle flow of that river, a river that sometimes flows fast and sometimes slow, but always knows where it's going. There are moments, aren't there, where we can just allow ourselves to be carried away by that gentle current of our thoughts. And as you continue to listen to my words, you might notice, or perhaps already have noticed, how some words seem to drift to the background, much like distant trees by the riverbank, while others may stand out like a prominent rock in the middle of the water. And you don't have to try to relax or even focus too hard, because sometimes the most profound relaxation occurs when we least expect it, much like stumbling upon a serene, hidden spot by the river's bend. And isn't it interesting how when we journey inward, deeper into our own consciousness, we can encounter spaces of vast serenity, places where time seems to stretch and bend like shadows on a sundial. And as you find yourself in this space, perhaps you can think of an ancient tree, its roots spreading deep, deep into the earth. This tree has witnessed centuries, felt storms, sunlight, and still it stands tall, deeply rooted. But you don't need to focus on that tree or its roots, just as you don't need to focus on any thought or sensation that drifts by. They are, after all, just passing moments, just like clouds crossing the expansive sky. The deeper you go, the more you might sense that tranquility, that age-old stillness that the tree knows so well. There's a vast world within us, a tapestry of memories, emotions, and thoughts. And as we weave through it, there's a unique comfort in knowing that we can choose which threads to hold on to and which ones to let go. Like leaves on that ancient tree, some fall away, making space for new ones to grow. You know, many great thinkers have often pondered about our human ability to visualize, the unique gift we have to imagine scenarios, futures, worlds. Some say it's what separates us, makes us special, and yet sometimes that very gift can play tricks on us. Just like when a magician pulls a rabbit out of a hat, our mind too can pull out these vast, magnified, even catastrophic scenes from a simple, innocent thought. Have you ever watched a child play with a toy train? They set up the tracks, maybe a loop, maybe a long journey. And as that train begins its journey, if a track is misaligned, the train may be real. Now the child doesn't imagine the entire toy town in ruins, though they simply set the train back on its track, maybe adjust the misaligned piece, and off it goes again. There's a simplicity in their response, but directness. And yet as we grow older, our mental tracks sometimes show us entire cities crumbling from a single misaligned thought. And you might begin to wonder, how can we realign? It's intriguing, isn't it, how one thought, like a single drop of ink in water, can spread, coloring our entire perspective. And sometimes, before we know it, that little drop of ink has made the entire water seem dark and murky. And yet there are ways, perhaps ways you've not even realized yet, where you can filter that water, bring it back to clarity. And remember that river, how it has its clear days and its turbulent ones. Our thoughts are now different. There might be days where they flow clear and smooth, and then there are days where they feel muddied and turbulent. But what if, instead of getting caught in the turbulence, you could just observe? Step back and realize, this is just one of those turbulent days, without judgment, without being swept away. Much like watching a scene from a movie and realizing it's just a movie. In the vast narrative of our lives, there are so many chapters, scenes, and moments. Some happy, some challenging, some mundane. Like any good author, you have the ability to rewrite, to edit, to change the narrative. If a chapter seems too heavy, too filled with catastrophic outcomes, you can choose to rewrite it. Not just in imagination, but in reality. With every new choice, every new perspective, you're penning a new page. Our ancestors, they had a need to predict danger, to anticipate threats. It was a matter of survival. A rustling in the bushes, it could be a predator, but in our modern world, these ancient survival tools sometimes misfire. That email from the boss, it's probably not a lion. That unexpected phone call, not a snake in the grass. Our mind, however, sometimes reacts as if they were. And as you think about this, you might start to find humor in the idea. Imagine reacting to an email like it's a lion, and in much humor, there might be a lightness, a release. Milton Erickson once said, change will lead to insight far more often than insight will lead to change. And isn't that fascinating? The idea that by simply choosing to act, to change a pattern, we can gain deeper understanding. So what if the next time you find your mind catastrophizing, you simply choose to act differently? Maybe you take a deep breath, maybe shift your focus, maybe even chuckle at the lion email. As you do, insight might just sneak up on you, like the shy cat peeking from behind the curtain. And in the vast landscape of your mind, there are mountains and valleys, forests and lakes. And yes, there might be storms, but remember, after every storm, there's a calm. The air feels fresher, the world more vibrant, And maybe, just maybe, that storm was necessary to clear out the old, to make way for the new. Now I wonder, when you wake up tomorrow, how will you approach the day? With the weight of catastrophes, or with the curiosity of what new narrative you can create? With every sunrise, there's a blank page waiting for your story. And who knows, you might just pen down a bestseller. You know, every journey has a starting point and a destination. And as our journey today begins to come to its natural conclusion, think of it like that in a moment just before dawn, where the world is still and the first hints of light starting to paint the horizon. It's that beautiful in-between where dreams touch reality. And as you become aware of the space around you, of the rhythm of your own breath, maybe you can start to feel the energy returning to your limbs, as if the universe itself is gently nudging you, reminding you of the world outside, the world where you can carry the insights, the learnings and the calmness from this session. And as you do, each and every breath starts to bring you more into the present moment, alert and refreshed, ready to greet the world with a renewed perspective. And as the days unfold, you might find yourself pausing, reflecting and choosing not to magnify, but to clarify. Remember that the power to shape your narrative lies within you. And in those moments of uncertainty, let the memory of this session be a gentle reminder that every story can be rewritten, every perspective can be shifted. Thank you for allowing yourself this time of reflection and growth. Embrace the clarity and empowerment you've unlocked today. Until next time, goodbye and good mental health.